Um, Hello guys, I'm going to try doing a different reading here. So just pick whatever resonates with you, and I'm going to go ahead and do a reading for you with tarot cards, and also read a few pages from the respective pile that you picked. So go ahead and make a selection, and from there let's get this started. Okay, so I hope uh, you picked a pile, and it's okay to be attracted to more than one pile at the same time. You could also do this reading if you're concerned with more than one person, and or you could pick two piles for the same person if you feel like both of which resonates with you. So let's go ahead and get us started with this reading. Guys, before I go ahead with the readings, I just thought I should say um, it's nothing but common sense that not all readings will resonate with everybody. Uh, it's understood that not every tarot reader is meant for everybody in this world. We all find our own psychic readers that we resonate with, and I hope I can use that as a disclaimer. Uh, for some of you, maybe you'll resonate with my tarot readings, but I mean my weekly, monthly tarot readings, and not the speaker card reading. And for some of you, it might resonate just with your respective rising or your moon sign, but not your sun sign. So feel free to pick another tarot channel, if this doesn't resonate. But instead of leaving like disrespectful comments, so I think that's common sense. I know most of you know that, but some of them tend to really not understand how intuitive psychic astrology works. So that's the disclaimer. So guys, if you picked pile 1, which is this green crystal here, and the book that you picked is actually I said a documentary, a biography, which is called Clothes, Music, Boys, and it's a memoir. This person, I haven't completely read this book, but I'm gonna like flip a few pages and just read it out for you by the end of the reading. This is about somebody really popular though, Viv Albentine. So I don't know, I'm not very familiar, but she was quite popular, I guess. And yeah, let's get your reading started. So pile 1. So what do we have going on for pile 1? Oh, King of Cups. That is what we are having at the beginning of this reading. Some kind of a contemplation. Oh, I'm gonna take these 2 cards. Keep the rest. Hi, pile 1. From what I see, I'm gonna just turn on the AC for now. Yeah. I see that you guys this person that you have in your mind right now is definitely thinking about you. You were some sort of a wish fulfillment for this person. And this person is thinking about you in the night just before he falls asleep. I have this feeling that you're constantly on this person's mind right before he falls asleep. You're the last thing on his mind. I also feel he thinks about how the journey started as a wish fulfillment, and how things progress so fast. And you were talking about wedding, you were supposed to get married to this person, and suddenly it just became one of those things where you're reminiscing about the past, and the sudden ending of the relationship is something that they are still a little uncomfortable with. I don't think they've healed completely. This person might be a Scorpio, but I see like this person was somebody with strong water placements, and this person would have been the one who offered you their cup of love. I don't see any negative intentions so far. There you go. There we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. The Emperor. The Chariot. Indecision. And we have the 5 swords at the back of the deck. Okay guys, so clearly this probably started off pretty quickly. Things were progressing very fast. Just like how everything started, it ended pretty quickly. It might have probably lasted for like 10 months or ended 6 months ago. There would have probably been a reconciliation, but it didn't work out very well between the two of you. And right now this person's ego is getting in the way of contacting you. Unfortunately, I don't see any communication cards that are positive. There's definitely this 2 of Swords where there is an indecision that is being going on in this person's head, like he's not sure or she's not sure if this is somebody, if they should contact you. Probably when this relationship ended, there was some kind of a monetary disappointment that happened with either of you. Maybe, in the midst of being in love, a lot of money was spent. So one of them went into debt because of this. So that is definitely going on in this person's mind. I think it was this person who he did like spending money on you. There's no doubt about it. But it seems like he spent too much and he didn't think about it because he was, in love and all that. And suddenly with this ending, he's looking at all the things he did and all the money that went away, and now that you are gone and he's left with this debt, it's probably why he's not or this person is not moving forward in getting in touch with you. I'm sorry I kept saying he, but I mean your person. Oh, that's interesting. What is beneath the 5 of Swords is the 8 of Wands. This person wants to communicate with you, but it's going to be a tricky situation because since there was some kind of I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. One of you cheated on the other, because of which is why we have the 5 of Swords. So this person might come back to you, approach you sexually, if I may say, but he's refraining from doing that because he knows that this, oh my god, there I go again, this person is refraining from saying this to you because he feels, just approaching you sexually might be something that would hurt you. That's something, huh? So there we go. I'm going to take these two cards as well. With the Chariot card here, I've never looked at the Chariot card as a three-party situation, but somewhere a third person was involved, and maybe this person wants to choose one of them now that the deception cycle is over and everything transformed and things have been you've definitely not been in communication for a very long time, but I don't see anything serious coming out of this relationship anytime soon, because this person is definitely in a financial crisis, because of which he is not able to offer you certain commitment that you're looking for, simply because the finances are not good. Yeah. So let me do some romance angels for you guys and see. Okay, stay optimistic about your love life. Release your ex. For some of you, this person might be an ex, and maybe it's time for you to let go of this person. I see separation going on. Maybe for some of you, okay, you know how I was talking about this whole deceptive situation that happened? So maybe when you guys were together, one of you got involved with an ex, and because of which is why the trust issue happened. That's why we have the 5 swords, and that led to the separation. So maybe it's time that some of you let go of your ex so that you can welcome this person back into your life. So that could be it. For some of you, this person is the ex and you need to let them go, because I don't see them coming back for all the right reasons. Let go of the control issues. So some of you are just, not able to let go of this person because of all the romantic feelings that you have, and it's been so difficult for you to let it all go, and it's just a control issue here. I don't see it as a romantic thing anymore. I think the romance faded away, and it's not love anymore. It's just some kind of an obsession. So if that's the case for some of you, it's time to let it all go. And for the rest of you, I feel that this obsession was a part of the relationship that was with your ex. I mean, the relationship before this person. And there was some kind of an obsessive behavior right there, because of which things got really toxic. And I feel you repeating the same patterns in this relationship. And that is why this relationship ended so quickly, because one of you got really obsessive. And obsession might be something that's very common in your family line, generally people overthinking and all that. So you probably need to heal your family issues, if you have ancestral trauma or something. Some of you, or this person might have that actually, how do I say this? This person feels like they've gone through so much trauma that it's hard for anybody to understand what exactly is going on in their head. So they are probably going for psychological therapy or something like that. There is definitely good chemistry between the two, and this person is reminiscing about that, about how great your chemistry was, how easy the flow of communication was. Maybe some of you had intense telepathy between the two of you, and this might be something that this person thinks a lot about, we started off this reading by how this person thinks a lot about you during the night. So there is definitely strong sexual energy. This person might be thinking about you sexually. This person might be thinking about how great your chemistry was, how things just flowed between the two of you. So that's something they're definitely missing. So Spirit is asking you to keep an open mind. Yeah, that's my reading for you, pile one. I'm going to pick those few. Okay, we are ending this reading, the tarot reading, with pay attention to the red flags. That's what is there at the back of the deck. And very soon in reverse. So maybe, if you let go of your control issues, this reversal might not be so reversed after all. So that's what we have at the back of the deck. I'm going to read a few pages from this book, and that message might resonate with you. So I'm just randomly flipping. Okay, there's a picture. So that's the picture. I'm trying to be as slow and phonetically right. So here we go. I'm not good with English names. So let's say I'm just gonna rename it or something. Paul, Mike's bass player, hasn't gotten anywhere to live, so he moved into my squat. Paul is as handsome as a film star, like Paul Newman and James Dean rolled together. He's nice to girls, not chauvinistic. He's a bit tongue-tied and bashful, but he cannot afford to be. His looks do all the talking. It's been Paul who comes up with this new band name, The Clash, from a newspaper headline. Paul and I really like each other, and he respects me, which always goes down well. Okay guys, this is a biography, so some of you already know the story. It's about Paul Simonon. I'm sorry about the last name. Paul Simonon, and the lead character, which is Viv Albertine. This is something about the 70s. Okay, let's read another page for you. Okay, which one? Okay, let me do another shuffle. Okay, that's the one. Straight running, I reached the beach cafe at the end of the wall. Its front door propped open with a tub of margarine. No need to rest now. I turn my face into the wind and head back. The paranoia I was left with after the cancer, that I would get ill again, is beginning to lift. For a while, I kept going back to the hospital. Thought I had this, that, and the other. They were very patient and tested me for everything. I swallowed tubes for them to look into my stomach. Had loads of blood tests for food allergies. Then they stuck a camera on my arse. That one finished me off. I think I almost had a touch of Munchausen syndrome, hospital addiction syndrome. I couldn't leave the safety of the hospital and all the attention and the ritual behind. But a camera came your hours will sort that one out. So like I said, this paragraph talks about her obsession, about how she felt something was wrong with her and she was obsessing about it, because now that the cancer treatment was over, she still felt that it might come back or relapse again, which is agreeable, because cancer is a dangerous disease to have. But at the same time, it is also an obsession to think about the relapse of something, uh, like that, like how she has said. Um, there's this one, yeah, hospital addiction syndrome. So let's continue reading. After so long worrying and being fearful, living by the sea and running is giving me the mental peace to think creatively again for the first time in years. With the salty wind on my face, feet pounding in the shingle, Kate Bush, the hounds of love on my iPod, new thoughts entered my head. What do I think about this architecture? As I run past a white modernist house, I like the shape of the house, but the windows are too small. What do I think of the asymmetrical stairs, the sculptures in the garden? Those stairs don't look right from the house. The sculptures are interesting. Who am I now? Am I the same person I was when I was 17? The person I was when I was married? Or has my personality been completely eroded and I must start again? Creating myself from the scratch like an amnesia patient? It doesn't matter. What the answers to the questions I'm asking myself are how uncool, how ordinary. They just have to be the truth. Each morning, I start again with the questions. Easy stuff like color. I've always been drawn to color. Mom made color interesting for me. And when I was little, she would say, see the color of the women's skirt. That's called elephant's breath. Or, see that ribbon, it's mint green. This one duck egg blue. The flower is dusty, rose, and that's one salmon pink. I interview myself as a way to discover the new one. What colors do you like? So, that's your reading file one. That was interesting. So, what I think is some of you definitely got out of a painful situation which might have happened right after this person left or right before, when your ex left you. I feel this reading had a lot to do with the healing family issues card, where maybe cancer is something that runs in your family, and maybe some of you have an obsession for it. Or in most cases, that I personally think, you are turning into a new leaf now. The past will be always a part of you, but the past is done and dealt with. What is coming in is the complete new. So it is very, very important that you maintain positivity. It's important that you stay positive and let go of all these control issues that you have. Some of you might be suffering from obsessive compulsive disorder. So the need to keep everything proper or stay in order might actually not be contributing much to your mental health. So if you let go of all that, be a little less obsessive, things might just progress. So that's what I'm getting about this. So I hope this resonated with you guys. Mostly when you start a reading, it takes a whole different path sometimes. So although I was talking about your person from at the beginning of this reading, it turned out to be more of your perspective of this reading. So I feel you letting go of the past trauma and working on it would help you towards, even bringing this person back or getting the love of your life. But I definitely see you guys turning into a new leaf. So that's your reading part one. I hope it resonated. Leave your comments and do subscribe and let me know what you think. Thank you. Pile two. If you pick this crystal, the black one, that came about the green book, the book that says God of Small Things. this is your reading. So I hope you guys are doing well. And I'm just beginning to shuffle your cards again. King of Swords. This person might be super, I feel brutal with his communication style. Maybe this person doesn't know how to be polite. This person might be a Scorpio. Definitely, every time you have a conversation with this person is so brutally honest sometimes that it hurts you. It hurts you to even have like a proper conversation. Interesting. Okay, we are going from the 5 of Cups to the 4 of Cups. Okay. Oh, we have like a true pair situation here. Interesting. Patience is definitely a part of this reading. Maybe some of you were immensely patient with this person, and this person is missing that. Maybe this person misses your patience about how you were so good at dealing with them emotionally. Okay, wow. Nice. I like it. So, there's a lot of confusion going on with this person. 7 of Swords. Okay. So we know that this person's communication was definitely not something you enjoyed. You felt they were too brutal. They didn't know how to be polite. So you were immensely patient with that part of this person. You totally accepted that part of him, and this person misses that. This person, when he or she tries to communicate harshly, it is a defense mechanism because of a past trauma that happened in their life. Maybe somebody died and they couldn't cope with it, and because of which it is something that they did, that they developed because of that. Maybe that was the trauma that triggered that particular aspect of them. uh, this person was the one who came up to you and offered you a cup of love. It was very immature or very subtle. It was not a clear, I mean, it was so different from the way they actually communicate, when they want to talk what they want to talk. But when they offered you this cup of love, it was super vague, and you were looking at it like, is this person like asking me to date him, or are they saying they're in love with me? This totally confused you. And so you didn't like react to it. You were just not sure on what to say. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do I have to say? So, and they thought you rejected them, and now they're thinking about, maybe they should approach you again. Uh, but when the situation ended, you were kind of brutal to them. You kind of ended things with them by speaking back to them the way they spoke to you. So, more like a tit for a tat kind of a situation. You were immensely patient with their communication style and all that. But what happened later on was that, you know, your patience had exhausted itself. So, you had to give them a piece of their own cake, meat, I don't know. So, you left them with brutal honesty. Like, you told them something that was brutally honest, but after that you just left. Like, you ended things and you left. So I feel some sort of a communication coming your way, because Eight of Wands is clearly a communication card. So, but with the Seven of Swords at the back of the deck, I feel that it's probably because they didn't get the last word. They're just coming back to have the last word because you had the last word. I feel a very immature energy right here. This person was very immature. So this person just wants to have the last word. Or it might start off like that, and I don't know, eventually, yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks fine to me. So the Deception and the High Priestess and the Four of Wands and the Three of Cups. So it might start off as a very petty conversation. I don't know, like he or she might just come back to have a petty fight, but eventually, because you're, as always, immensely patient with this person, it goes to, like, you're very intuitive. You know why this person is back. You know that this person wants to, like, get back with you, and he's just, as usual, using his communicative style as a defense mechanism to not show his true feelings or something. So eventually things could lead to some marriage for some of you, or a celebration, or you could meet this person at a wedding of a mutual friend of yours. So yeah, so that's what I see, pile 2. I don't like to go too much in detail about my readings because I'm a very crisp and to the point person from whatever I've been told. But I'm trying to extend this reading as much as possible. But yeah, let's pick some angel cards, archangel guidance cards. So, pile 2. What do we have going on for piles 2 person? Okay. Remember who you are. You are powerful, loving, creative child of God. You're very loved. Crystal clear intentions. Make sure your intentions are like crystal clear, like no more confusions. write it down. Maybe, you could tell this in a write. Maybe you're a good writer. Maybe you're very good at talking about how you feel. So maybe you should clearly communicate how you feel. Maybe use your creative writing skills into communicating with this person, because this person, no matter what you say, doesn't seem to be getting the point. So you just have to be clear. For some of you, you might be like a counselor to this person, and they might think you're an angel of some sorts, and how the angel that God sent to heal this person's trauma issues. So that's something, huh? So what, I'm sorry, we have clear your space. Okay, pile 2. So it's very important that when this person approaches you, you need to be very clear about who you are. Whatever confusion that existed before this relationship started need to be cleared. Like, I know this person confuses you a lot, but you need to remind yourself that you are not somebody who can get confused easily. You are a very clear-headed person. That's what you are. So you need to make sure you tell this person that you are clear on what you want. It's just that this person isn't. And use your writing skills, because I feel like some of you can communicate really well, because I see serious communication problems in this relationship, because one person's communication style is so off and the other person is such a brilliant communicator. So, and this person is missing you because you were immensely patient with you, which is not surprising, because we have the counselor card here. So nobody has been this patient with this person. So they deeply appreciate that, definitely. But in spite of all this, you need to make a decision on if you want to be the therapist, or if you want to be the therapist girlfriend. I mean, are you okay with it? Are you not okay with it? Is it something that is a part of you that's willing to offer this? Or is it a part of you that you're willing to offer to this person? So yeah, think about that. And what an interesting book to have picked. Pile 2, The God of Small Things. If you haven't read about it, just read about it. It's an intense book, if I may say. So we're gonna pick a page for you, randomly. Okay, page 185. Is he in heaven? Is he in hell? Then something that is not English, so I'm so sorry, I cannot read that. Okay. Kochu Maria cut a sample piece of cake for Mamachi's approval. Okay, so this book is written by an Indian author. So the names are Indianized. So maybe I'll try to make it a little more global. So 1 piece each, Mama confirmed to Kochu Maria, touching the piece lightly with ruby ringed fingers to see if it was small enough. Maria sawed up the rest of the cake messily, laboriously, breathing through her mouth as though she was carving a hunk of a roasted lamb. She put the pieces on a large silver tray. Mama played a Welcome Home, Our Sophie Moore melody on her violin. A cloying chocolate melody, sticky sweet and melty brown, chocolate waves of a chocolate shore. In the middle of the melody, Jack raised his voice over the chocolate sound. Mama, he said in his reading aloud voice. Mama, that's enough. Enough violin. Mama stopped playing and looked into Jack's direction. The bow poised in midair. Enough? Do you think that's enough, Jack? More than enough, Jack said. Enough's enough, Mama murmured to herself. I think I will stop now. As though the idea had suddenly occurred to her. She put her violin away into a black violin-shaped box. It closed like a suitcase. and the music closed with it. Click and click. Mama put her dark glasses on again and drew the drapes across the hot day. Ammu emerged from the house and called to Rahel. I'm going to say Rahel as Rachel. Rachel, I want you to have your afternoon nap. Come in, and after you've had your cake. Rachel's heart sank. Afternoon nap, she hated those. Ammu went back indoors. So from this page, I feel like, you know how this one person is saying to the other person like enough is enough because there has been an overdose of the music. I feel that's something you can probably relate to, because when you ended this relationship, you said enough. I've put up with you for so long, especially with the way how you brutally communicate, and after all this, I'm done. So enough is something you can relate to. So another page for pile 2. 169. Trying to pause it so that you guys can read it maybe. Okay. Mama had a separate entrance built for Jack's room, which was at the eastern end of the house, so that the objects of his needs wouldn't have to go trespassing through the house. She secretly slipped them money to help them I don't know what is wrong with me. I'm not able to communicate. Okay, I'm going to start over. Mama had a separate entrance for Jack's room, which was at the eastern end of the house, so that the objects of his needs wouldn't have to go trapsing through the house. She secretly slipped them money to keep them happy. They took it because they needed it. They had young children and old parents, or husbands who spent all their earnings in Tory bars. The arrangement suited Mama because in her mind, a fee clarified things. Disjuncted sex from love, needs from feelings. Mama Kochama, however, was very different. Was a different kettle of fish altogether. Since she had no means of finding out, though she did once try to get Kochu Maria to examine the bed sheets for stains, Mamachi could only hope that Margaret Kochama was not intending to resume her sexual relationship with Chuck. While Margaret Kochama was in Amenam, Mamachi managed her otherwise unmanageable feelings by slipping money into the pockets of the dress that Margaret Kochama left in the laundry bin. Margaret Kochama never returned the money simply because she never found it. Her pockets were emptied as a matter of routine by Onion the dopey. Mamachi knew this, but preferred to construe Margaret Kochama's silence as a tactic of acceptance of the payment for the favors Mamachi imagined she bestowed on her son. So Mama had the satisfaction of regarding Margaret as just another whore. Onion the Dhobi was happy with his daily gratuity, and of course Margaret Kochama remained blissfully unaware of the whole arrangement. From its perch on the well, an untidy couch called Hoop Hoop and shuffled its rust-red wings. A crow stole some soap that bubbled in its beak. In the dark, smoky kitchen, short Kochu Maria stood on her toes and eyed the tall, double-decker welcome home, our Sophie Mole cake. Though, even in those days, most Syrian Christian women had started wearing saris. Kochu Maria still wore her spotless, half-sleeved white chatta with a V-neck and her white mundu. Okay, guys, so I will try to explain a little bit of this to you guys. So this story revolves around a Christian family in India, in the state called Kerala. So this particular category of Christians are called Syrian Christians. And I honestly don't know anything more than that, but in Kerala Christian families, the traditional dress that is worn is a white top and a white skirt. So when a woman comes of age, as in when she has her first period, there's a certain cultural thing where she moves from a frock to a gown or something else, right? Like how you can't dress like a 6-year old when you're like a 13-year-old. So that's the dresses that women, grown up women, Syrian Christians wear: a skirt, a full length skirt, and a blouse. So this particular story is has a lot to do with ancestral trauma. If you continue, like if you ever read this book, if you feel like, I feel like for some of you this might be the book that you need to read. I'm sorry, I'll just try to keep it. Yeah, God of Small Things. It's about ancestral trauma. Except for the names being very local to India, the story as such was quite a hit actually. It's the winner of the 97 Booker Prize. I don't know what that is though. So it's about how Indian families deal with certain taboo topics, I guess. And this particular page that I read is interesting because there is some kind of illegal sexual relationship that is going on, but instead of approaching the situation up front, the whole tactic that is used to get rid of the situation is by a non-communicative way, because you don't talk about it. You don't tell somebody who's cheating on somebody or having any kind of an illicit affair with somebody that they are. It's a way of handling things. I don't know. I think it's human nature, I suppose. Yeah, but it's a much bigger of a taboo topic in India because everything is perfect generally in India. Nobody talks about anything like this. Once a man is married to a woman, he or she only has sex with that woman and they die. That's how conservative India is, and Indian Christians are, I guess, even more conservative. But anyways, this is based on years before, like 97 is like how many years back. So maybe there was some kind of an infidelity cover up. Maybe this person slept with somebody else and they came back into your life, and tried to cover it up. But the fact that this particular character was looking for blood stains in the bed sheet is interesting because I wonder why she was looking for blood stains. If I understand if someone is a virgin, but I don't understand otherwise. So maybe that's all they knew. Uneducated people don't think much ahead. So I don't know, some kind of a cover up of an infidelity or an illicit affair. So that's your reading, guys. Wow, that was something, huh? So different from the pile one reading. I didn't expect so much of a difference, but I hope this resonates, guys. So thank you. Do subscribe to my channel, leave your comments, tell me what you think. Hi guys, for those of you who had chosen this one, the orange crystal, as I would like to call it. If any of you want the real names of it, I'll pin it down in the description. So yeah, and this book is The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. So let's begin your reading, guys. So what do we have going on in the mind of pile 3 person? This is the first deck among all the 3 decks where I'm getting too many reversals, and that's interesting. I'm going to like move this just a bit so we'll have more space for your cards. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay, pile 3. Wow. That's something, huh? The upright cards. Okay. I wish it was gonna take this one. Okay. The upright cards that we did get are quite painful, if I may say. I mean, if I'd gotten them in reversal, I mean, the whole situation would be so different. So I'm gonna take this as the bottom of the deck. And these 2. Okay. So, pile 3. What's up? So whatever happened with this person was very painful, pile 3. Like, oh my god, wow, that's some heavy situation. So something happened between you and this person, and the truth came out, and the truth wasn't good. Whatever the truth was, whatever that was hidden from you, when it came out, everything came crashing down in your life. It's like your whole world turned upside down. So for some of you, you probably had to like move out of the city that you were living in. You literally had to get out of a whole country. For some of you, like, just move. I need to move from this place in order to get rid of this person's memory. And some of you moved, literally like moved cities and changed jobs, I don't know, made new friends, the situation was too painful, is what I'm getting. A love that was offered was rejected in the most brutal way possible for some of you, and you were utilized by this person. But this person now has regrets. Well, that's definitely evident from the cards. This person definitely has regrets. So the communication that's going to come in from this person is going to be about, I don't know if this person feels guilty. I mean, guilt is a very strange emotion. The kind of world we are living in right now, guilt isn't an emotion that everybody feels. I'm sorry, I have to say that out. Not everybody feels guilt. Everybody is about, meeting their own needs and demands, and people are very selfish. And I'm sorry I'm being such a pessimist, but that's the truth. So I, as a matter of fact, don't feel that this person feels guilt, but there are regrets. Probably because whoever came after you didn't do as good of a job as you did, or broke their heart, probably. And this got them thinking about you, how much easier you were to deal with. Huh? Wow, man. So right now this person is thinking about contacting you. But I feel sometime during the Leo season, July, June, I don't know why I said June. June is not Leo. But I feel like June, July, August, summer, sometime during the summer is when you'll hear back from this person. I mean, that's pretty optimistic of me to say that, because I feel this heavily. But you guys, think about what this person did to you. I don't know, did he like steal money or something? Something, I don't know, what did he not steal from you? This person like took everything away from you, took your pride, your respect, your money. I don't know, literally butchered you is what I feel. I feel this card initially came out in the reverse, but I didn't want it in the reverse. For some reason, I wanted it upright. But I feel like when you met this person, you were really an empress. You had it all. You were perfect and happy on your own. From the Empress, you go to the Three of Swords and the Hangman, where you were just so unsure of life, and to the Five of Cups, to the reverse Ten of Cups. I don't know, you're just like, what the hell, man? I had it all together, and this person comes in and everything is just over, like about me. So since this person literally broke your heart, would be such a small thing to say here. I mean, the sentence as such sounds so petty. He or she did more than just that. Oh my god. He literally, or she, for some of you, this person would have stolen your identity. I don't know if people can do that, but it's literally like they became you and you became them, and your pride, your self-respect, I don't know, everything was just simply butchered. So yeah, there is definitely communication coming your way from this person. Probably I just want to clarify this fellow, like how would the, oh, okay, for some reason I had this right behind me, seems like, okay. So when this person comes back, this person is going to be super regretful about what happened in the past. But I want you to like, think about it, maybe overanalyze the conversation just a bit. I am not a big fan of overthinking, but I feel like the situations requires you to be very slow, patient, and maybe a little critical of whatever this person is saying, because from whatever you've gone through, I don't think it'll be very easy for you to even believe if this person has regrets, or is it because of the narcissism that they exhibit? They just want more from you. They just haven't gotten what you gave them. So I want you to be very critical, be very careful here, because this person has some ways about, ways with his words, something in the way this person talks. Literally, I'm pulling extra cards for you guys. I don't know, I feel like I need to. Okay, yeah, so like I said, okay, we have, this is again, the bottom of the deck is beautiful, guys. Like, I shuffled again and we have the Nine of Cups now. And let's see what we have below that. Yeah, Judgment reversed. Yeah, that's good, Things are turning in your favor, especially when it comes to this person, because this person is gonna give you, if you get nothing out of this whole communication, you're gonna get something out of it. You're gonna get your closure. Some of you haven't gotten your closure. You're gonna get your closure. You're like, okay, that's it. Now I can freely move on and fall in love with somebody else now that you have regrets, or I don't know, I just have my closure right now, is what you are going to feel. This person is definitely going to give you a cup of love. It's not something I would accept. I don't know, I'm not going to make decisions for you guys. It's going to be pretty mature, but he's going to have like a flirtatious, playful energy around you, which you always fall for. And I want you to be patient. Think about it. Don't say no right away. Just think about it. I don't know, maybe play him back. I don't know. Is that something a tarot reader must say? I don't know. Play him back the way he played you. I don't know. I mean, do it. Go ahead. Wow, man. Now I'm going to pull in the Archangel Oracle card for you because I don't see this as a very romantic reading, so I'm not pulling in the romance angels. Peace. Ha! Nice, huh? Peace. Ultimately, guys, you're gonna be back at your Empress energy. You know, your peace is going to be restored, definitely. From all the mess that has been. Take your power back. Oh my dear Lord. Can this reading get any more accurate? I mean, you can't make this shit up. See, that's what I was talking about, right? Throughout this reading, this person took your power away from you. You know, I was like looking for the word. I was saying prestige, I don't know, self-respect, ego, money, but it's the power. You were a very powerful, self-sufficient person, and oh my God, take your power back. So like how I ended this part of the reading, you know, play them back if you want. You know, this person probably deserves that for the shit they did to you. I feel disgust. Guys, I feel disgusted. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Courage. Huh. You know, you guys are literally the Empress energy. I'm not going to say Emperor because I feel like Empress vibes. You could be a man, you know. An Empress is no less than an Emperor, but there is a nurturing energy about her, or him, if I may say. So nurturing is such a rarity these days. You would think people would have empathy enough to nurture people, but nurturing doesn't come to anybody easily. So if you are a if you have nurturing energy, you are high vibes. You are literally. So yeah, see, counselor. So you were definitely like a counseling. There was some kind of a mentor student relationship here. You know, you were trying to correct this person's ways, you know, make them a better person. Spread your wings. It's time for you to fly, guys. It's time for you to fly. All this shit, it's time that you put all the shit in your past, get your closure, and go back to being the badass woman that you are. Because I feel you know, some of you might even be practicing tarot or spiritual yoga. I don't know. Definitely a deep spiritual connection to the planet Earth, you know, very grounded. All is well, guys. Eventually, everything's fine. I did pull in a lot more cards, moon cycle, so definitely something happening around the full moon or the crescent moon. Yeah, so pay attention to that. So we have sensitivity. I feel like there's nothing wrong in being a sensitive person, guys. Like sensitivity has become a rarity these days. But just make sure nobody uses you for it. You know, use it to the right people. Don't show it to people like this and waste your time. You know, use it. Be clever. You're an intuitive person, so be clever. You know, with where you show your love. So I'm gonna like read a random page from this book, which I feel like is something that would connect to your current situation. So since you guys chose this pile, this is the book. So we are at page 417. Where did you get this? In some art shop, you know, one of those places in the 2nd Avenue? How did you get there? I don't know. I didn't ask. I bought it because I knew the model. You're lying about that. If that were all you saw in it, you wouldn't have taken the chance you took. You know, I've never let anyone see my gallery. Did you know I'd allow you the presumption of contributing to it? Nobody has ever dared offer me a gift of that kind. You wouldn't have risked it. unless you were sure, terribly sure, of how great a work of art this is. Sure, I'd have to accept it, that you'd beat me, and you have. I'm glad to hear it, Mr. Vianant. Wynard? I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm not good with these names. If you wish to enjoy that, I'll tell you also that I hate seeing this come from you. I hate your having been able to appreciate it. It doesn't fit you, though I was obviously wrong about you. You're a great art expert than I thought you were. Such as it is, I will have to accept this as a compliment and thank you, Mr. Wynant. Now, what was it you wanted? You intended me to understand that you won't let me have this unless I grant an interview to Mrs. Peter Keating? Why no, Mr. Wynant. I've made you a present of it. I intended you only to understand that this is Mrs. Peter Keating. Wynant looked at the statue, then back at Toohey. Oh, you damn fool, said Wynant softly. Toohey stared at it, bewildered. So you really did use this as a red lamp in a window? Wynant seemed relieved. He did not find it necessary to hold Toohey's glance now. That's better, Toohey. You're not as smart as I thought for a moment. But, Mr. Wynant, what? Didn't you realize that the statue would be the surest way to kill anybody's appetite I might have for Mrs. Keating? Sorry, any possible appetite that I might have for Mrs. Keating. You haven't seen her, Mr. Wynant? Oh, she's probably beautiful. She might be more beautiful than this. But she can't have what the sculpture has given her. Or to see the same face but without any meaning, like a dead caricature. Don't you think one would hate the woman for that? You haven't seen her. Oh, all right, I will see her. I told you you shouldn't be allowed to get away with your stunt completely or not at all. I didn't promise you to lay her, did I? Only to see her. That is all I wanted, Mr. Wynant. Have her telephone my office and make an appointment. Thank you, Mr. Wynant. Besides, you're lying about not knowing the name of that sculpture. But it's too much bother to make you tell me. She will tell me. I'm sure she'll tell you. Though, why should I lie? God knows. By the way, if it had been a lesser sculptor, you'd have lost your job over this. But after all, Mr. Wynant, I have a contract. Oh, save that for the labor unions, Elsie. Now I think you should wish me a good night and get out of here. Yes, Mr. Wynant, I wish you good night. Wynant accompanied him to the hall. At the door, Wynant said, You're a poor businessman, Toohey. I don't know why you are so anxious to have me meet Mrs. Keating. I don't know what your racket is in trying to get a commission for that Keating of yours. But whatever it is, it can't be so valuable that you should have been willing to part with a thing like this in exchange. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So there is definitely a weird sense of control that I can see in the situation because, clear narcissistic energy. So this person didn't appreciate your value when you were with this person, probably belittled you all the time, put you down, told you you were not good enough, which is why you were left feeling like you were not good enough by the end of the situation, because you are nothing less than an empress, and just being with this person took all that away from you, and you felt so little of yourself. You probably felt you weren't good enough. You probably lost, I don't know, got fat or put on a little weight, because of which this person literally complained on the fact that, oh my god, you're so fat now, you used to be so pretty, oh, you look ugly now, and things like that. Brutal communication. And sorry guys. So definitely a toxic situation, because Like how you see from this conversation that we have between these two people in this book and this page. One of them is underestimating the power of another person. And you never know what happens next, like people who underestimate another person. Okay, there's a saying, right? It is okay to be underestimated, because, nobody's going to notice you. And when you win, it'll be such a surprise. The attention is elsewhere, so you can peacefully do your job and get the party going because nobody's looking at you, which means they think you are the loser, but that doesn't make you the loser just because they think that way. So yeah, I hope that makes sense to some of you. Let's pick one more page. Okay. 239. Okay, I thought I'll just give you guys a minute. Okay. Do you remember our little youth group of architects, Peter? He asked. I am making arrangements for our first meeting soon. I've spoken to many of our future members, and you'd be flattered by what they said about you as our prospective chairman. They talked pleasantly for another half an hour. When Keating rose to go, Doohay declared, "Oh yes, I did speak to Louise Cook about you. You'll hear from her shortly. Thank you so much, Ellsworth. By the way, I'm reading Clouds and Shrouds. And oh, it's tremendous, Ellsworth, it makes you think so differently about everything you've thought before. Yes, doesn't it?" He stood at the window, looking out at the last sunshine of a cold, bright afternoon. Then he turned and said, "It's a lovely day, probably one of the last this year. Why don't you take Catherine out for a little walk, Peter?" "Oh, I'd love to," said Catherine eagerly. "Well, go ahead," Doohay smiled gaily. "What's the matter, Catherine? Do you have to wait for my permission?" When they walked out together, when they were alone in the cold brilliance of the street flooded with the late sunlight, Keating felt himself recapturing everything Catherine had always meant to him. The strange emotion that he could not keep in the presence of others. He closed his hands over hers. She withdrew her hand, took off her gloves and slipped her fingers into his. And then he thought suddenly that hands did perspire when he held too long, and he walked faster in irritation. He thought that they were walking there like Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and that they probably appeared ridiculous to the passers-by. To shake himself free of these thoughts, he glanced down at her face. She was looking straight ahead at the cold light. He saw her delicate profile, the faint crease of a smile in the corner of her mouth, a smile of quiet happiness, and he noticed that the edge of her eyelid was pale, and he began to wonder whether she was anemic. Louise Cook sat on the floor in the middle of her living room, her legs crossed Turkish fashion, showing large bare knees, grey stockings rolled over tight garters, and a piece of faded pink drawers. Peter Keating sat on the edge of a violin satin chaise lounge. Never before had he felt uncomfortable at a first view with a client. Louise Cook was 37. She had stated insistently in her publicity and in private conversation that she was 64. It was repeated as a whimsical joke. It created about her name a vague impression of eternal youth. She was tall, dry, narrow shoulders, and broad-hipped. She had a long, sallow face and eyes set close together. Her hair hung about her eyes in a greasy strands. Her fingernails were broken. She looked offensively unkempt, with studied slovenliness, as careful as grooming, and for the same purpose. Okay, so So from what I get from this other page that I read for you guys, I feel that this person probably didn't take much care about you. You probably started to, lose your charm with every second you spend with this person. This person was critical about you. It's funny how, when this person holds this particular part of this page where one of them holds the hand of the other, and he's thinking about how when you hold hands, you start to perspire. That's a weird thing to think about, isn't it? So maybe this person was extremely critical about you, especially in spite of you being so perfect. So although it's just some bonds are so toxic, although he or she wanted to make it all okay, this person did like you, but somewhere the energies made them totally critical. I don't know. They want, like, if you look at the scene, he wanted to actually spend a romantic evening with this person, but somewhere, something got into their head and it became something very critical. He was noticing only the flaws, and that's not a great place to be. And for the rest of you, you probably resemble the other woman that we read at the bottom, the end of the page. The 37-year-old woman who looked a little unkempt, or probably, when you were with this person, you didn't even have time to groom yourself because you were like so drained of your own energy. So that's your reading, pile 3, and I hope it resonated. So do leave me your comments and do tell me what's up. Like, what do you think? Yeah, bye-bye. Hi, pile 4. If you had chosen this brown, orange, dark brown stone and this book, just The Fearless Kill Game. I don't know, it's something like Nancy Drew, I think. I've not read this one. I don't think I've read any of the books for that matter. It's just something that lies in the house. Ever since technology came into existence, books have become like not a part of my life. I used to read a lot as a teenager, but not anymore. So, guys, let's begin your reading if you belong to this group. So, what do we have going on for pile 4? So, what is your person? I don't know, what was your person's intentions, maybe, what was going on between you and your person? Okay, that's the first card. I couldn't help but take it because it's such a prominent card to pop up from a first shuffle. hurt right now, like my left hand. So maybe for some of you, something about your left hand. It's funny because this card has like a prominent hand. Like the hand is so prominent in this card. Something about pressure in your left hand. Okay. So again, something about the hands. Do you see how we have the Ten of Wands and everything that he's holding is burden on his back, but it's supported by both his hands. Okay. Actually, this was supposed to be the last two cards that came up, but this fellow wanted to come out as well, so you have like an extra card. Pile 4. So what were we saying? Pile 4. Something about the hands, huh? What about the hands? I don't know, something about the hands. Something about burdening your hands. Maybe you had, some of you had to carry this person. Was it like a child? A heavy baby? Maybe some of you are having a child that weighs normal, heavier than normal. So whenever you carry this child, your hands hurt. Especially with the Strength card. Okay. So this person, like whenever you met this person, you know, this could be any situation, right? Like it is not necessarily a romantic situation. It could be a platonic situation. It could be a child. I don't know, your sister. It could be anything. This situation transformed your life is the least to say. The life before this person and the life after your person is completely different. But I feel the transformation happened more towards the good than it was a positive transformation. It was difficult, but it was positive. It changed you as a person. So initially you had like struggles, like there was word wars going on. Communication wasn't smooth in the beginning, and every time you start to have a conversation with this person, there was literally word wars. Each of you thought, the other was offensive to you or was not trying to agree with you or just was trying to, make it feel like your opinion doesn't matter. But I don't think that was the case. It was just a problem of misunderstanding. This person's communication style and your communication was so different that you just didn't understand each other's communicative styles. So maybe that was the transformation that happened. The perspective that you need to put into understanding someone else's communication style. Maybe, you used to be this person who thought, only if a person speaks a certain way, are they the is the right way to communicate. And maybe you were rigid with your views on communication, and maybe after meeting this person, you were more liberal about it. Your perspective changed about how it's okay to somebody to, talk slowly, have a different opinion about things and not still, and you were probably a bitch about it. Like you probably, were like, I'm right, you're being such an idiot, you're being such a fool, something like that. Okay. So there was a lot of I was gonna say confusion, but this is the last card that came out. Okay. there was a lot of love because definitely a lot of love because we have the 10 of cups here. What started off as a situation which you would have, I don't think when the situation started you thought it would lead to anything, uh, anything romantic for that matter. It might have started off as a platonic relationship, and suddenly there's just so much love and there was so much affection, and you both were so keen on making each other's house a home, if I may say. Like, it's easy to buy a house, but to make it a home is a whole new thing. So both of you were focused on making each other's life a little more caring, a little more, I don't know, like how when somebody comes into your life, you feel the need to go back home and stay there a little more. So I feel like when the relationship did happen, I don't know if I don't see you guys in separation. Are you guys in separation? Let's get to that later, huh? So I feel like initially during the start of the relationship, you both loved spending time at home and, Netflixing, chilling. I don't see a lot of sexual activity here, but it was the kind of love where like how you just like being around a person. You maybe the socializing stopped a bit. Before you met this person, you were more social, you had more friends, and you were like partying all the time, with the death card at the beginning of it, and suddenly you're like this home buddy who just likes to like chill at home, make sure your boyfriend eats properly, or I don't know, cook for your boyfriend, some stuff like that, or your girlfriend. But what started off as that eventually became burdening because you were spending too much time with each other and not going out, not extroverting. So what started off as stability eventually became a burden, or felt like it. So one of you withdrew, said, you wanted space. And when this happened, I feel that it was you, pile 4, that you were brutal when you said you wanted separation. You didn't break up with this person, but you're like, okay, I'm just like, you're suffocating me, stuff like that. Maybe using like the wrong words or hurtful words. Probably told this person that, we're spending so much time with each other that's suffocating me. Just let me go. Like, can I just go out and just breathe? Stuff like that. I'm so sorry. So, but I don't see this person getting hurt by it because this person knows that you just have like a wild style of communication, and ever since this person happened, you also understood that you're being a little brutal when it comes to your communication style. Maybe pile 4 probably listen to, what was that? I think it was pile 1 or 2. Pile 1 or 2. I think it was pile 2. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry. There was this person with like a brutal communication style. Maybe that could give you a perspective of, if you just go through the first few minutes, you will know which pile I'm talking about. It's the perspective of your partner probably, about how someone was brutal about the way they communicated. Yeah. So yeah, but I feel like eventually, you've toned down, you've realized how you can be a little nasty with your words, and I think you're in this space right now in this relationship where you're in that, I'm on a break, but you're not broken up because you're not seeing anybody. This person is not seeing anybody. To be honest, I don't think you're even interested in seeing anybody. You're like, you just wanted your space from love and the suffocation that comes with it sometimes for some people. When air signs like freedom. So you're probably a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You're missing your freedom, maybe an Aquarius for that matter. So you just wanted your freedom back, and it's got nothing to do with dating other men or being promiscuous or anything. You just felt a little suffocated, and that's probably possible. So maybe this person you were dating, since we had the death card at the beginning of the reading, was a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And since we have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck, I feel like this could be a Gemini Scorpio relationship. And Geminis love freedom. It's funny how people think Geminis are promiscuous. They are not. They just like freedom, and they say freedom. It's not like floating around and sleeping with other people. I think Geminis are very, very sensitive about how who they share their physical energy with. They would be, you would think you're close to a Gemini, but only the Gemini knows. Scorpios, on the other hand, tend to be a little more promiscuous than Gemini, if I may say. Actually, I mean, that's the truth. Scorpios are interesting because they can share their physical energy with other people, but still not be into them. Geminis, on the other hand, don't go there simply because they know they're too intelligent, if I may say. Like, they're too intelligent to go take that step where they already know, because it's not going to be nice, because I don't think it's something I want to share with you, because I don't think getting physical is the right thing to do. So this is probably going to be a little controversial for some of you, but it's true. Scorpios tend to be more promiscuous because they're a more sexual sign than Gemini. Gemini is flirtatious, but they don't take the sexual step immediately. I know a lot of Geminis who, like, they just flirt so badly. Like, they just flirt, and ghost. But nothing physical or anything happens, because they know that it's just flirting, and they already know because they're so intellectual. Sometimes, they just tend to be the more intellectual sign, and because of which they get bored and they just walk away. So, yeah. So, the clinginess of the Scorpio could be a little much for the Gemini. But I see chemistry. I mean, this is such a beautiful, wow. I don't know, this is giving me such good sexual vibes, and the sex was probably good between the two of you, and you were so happy with each other. So I don't see promiscuity at all. The space thing is a whole new, it's just that this person wants to have more space. That's all. Nothing to do with since I'm since I'm saying this from your perspective, probably you need to go and look at pile 1 or pile 2, and I don't think there's anything wrong with you wanting space. But right now you're at this energy where, I mean, I think both of you, for that matter, are at that energy where, okay, I get it, okay, I got it. So this person, this water sign in your life, wants to control you just a bit, okay? So probably a little bit of a micromanagement, where they're like, hey, who are you going and meeting, or who are you spending tonight with? So you're like, I'm just meeting a friend. Like, so who's this friend? How do you know this friend? Like, how did you meet this friend? And you're like, you're just asking too many questions, and I don't want to answer all that. Like, this is nothing. And it's not like this person is suspicious of you. This person is possessive of you. And somewhere when you start spending time with other people, they're not very comfortable. But they know that it's not the right thing to do, to possess somebody, but they are conflicted. So somewhere they were trying to tame you, but you are a free spirit, and you just want to, like, have fun, go back to your extroverted life, drink on a Saturday night, have fun, party with your girlfriends. And this person doesn't seem to be one of those kind. But anyways, you guys will figure it out. I feel like a better conversation between the two of you would help it. And 6 of Cups, reminiscing about the past, reconciliation happening. If there was some kind of a separation, yes, reconciliation is something I strongly feel. That's a nice reading. Pile 4. I mean, it's the first time I'm doing a reading like this, and all the 4 readings were so different from each other. Maybe, the only pile that maybe connected just a bit was this pile, but again, when I said, you should go listen to pile 1 or 2, I don't know which one exactly, but it's the first card. It starts with the King of Swords. The King of Swords is the first card in that reading. And it's, again, the perspective of the other person. It's not really like a continuity of this. So what do we have going on for pile 4 in the near future? Express your love. So guys, if you have been like not talking to this person and you feel like, you know, you're missing them, it's okay to go ahead and say you miss them, and you like, maybe you should hang out. And I don't think this person is like he's gonna text you back immediately and you'll be like meeting him in like 20 minutes or something. Like, it's going to be easy, guys, because it's just a break, right? It's not like a breakup. So I don't see like a lot of heavy energies, especially with the reconciliation card. You guys easily get back together. You know this person is your one. You know, you feel it, like with the Lovers card at the end. And like I said, you know, don't judge a Gemini. Geminis are the lovers in their tarot deck. You can't judge that. Is there a card better than the Gemini card? Maybe the 10 of Cups. Maybe. And how funny is that? A Gemini is an air sign and 10 of Cups represents water. And I feel like air and water together still makes a good pairing. It's an odd pairing though. And there's actually an interesting article if you like to like read about it. If you're in an air-water relationship, read this article. I think I will pin it down in the comments. I'm not sure, I might forget by the end of the video. But if you look for compatibility, why an Aquarius moon sign and a Scorpio moon sign might work out. It's a very interesting article. It gives such a great perspective on why between air-water relationships and on how, in spite of being so different, they're actually made for each other. So yeah, I feel like a heavy air-water relationship. You guys like are killing it, man. I just like this energy. The soulmate vibe about this reading is so cool. Worth waiting for. See, like what I said, worth waiting for, definitely. I don't think you're even waiting. I mean, what are you talking? You're not like seeing other people. You're just like, you know, you're like, I want space, and you're like watching, I don't know, Bridgerton or some series that you like to watch all by yourself. Or spending time with your girls. I mean, that's self-love. That's not promiscuity. It's safe for you to love. Yeah. Open your heart. Give the, receive the. So maybe, you know, if you feel at some point of time you did not handle this person the way you should have handled your lover or your soulmate, maybe you were being a little too brutal. So maybe, you know, you should probably go back, analyze where your mistakes are, and maybe this person is as well, you know, doing that. So very soon. So you guys will be back together very soon, which I'm not surprised from this reading actually. So codependency, yeah, see that I felt. You know, soulmate relationships generally have a little bit of codependency in it. So maybe if you could work around that, you know, be a little open-minded about things. Maybe you can, this is for your person actually, maybe the person could be a little more open-minded. Maybe you could talk it out, you know, make him understand that there's somebody who likes to have friends, and sometimes they are boys, and maybe there are a lot of boys as friends. That doesn't mean, should I even be saying this? I don't know what kind of an audience I'm talking to anymore, but there are girls who have more boys as friends than girlfriends, but there's nothing happening there. Like, they're probably just friends. I mean, most times one of them ends up getting feelings, but there are times when you don't, you know, because sometimes you vibe with the opposite gender so well. And it's easier to have somebody from the opposite gender because you can talk things out easily, and, you know, maybe even have like conversations about each other's relationships and all that. So yeah, that's something, chemistry. So guys, yeah, such a positive reading for you guys. So attraction is the bottom of the deck. So that's your reading. So there's definitely chemistry. I mean, I am not even going to explain this card. It talks for itself. So I'm going to read 2 to 3 pages from this book that you guys chose, I mean, which was a part of this. So yeah, that's the book. So this is rupees, by the way, it's not dollar, it's rupees 49 only. So yeah, that's the book. So I'm gonna pick so Fearless. I feel like some of you are fearless. A girl with no fear. Ha ha ha. Very funny. I think it's some teenage book. It's US dollar $11.99, which is actually like super expensive when it comes to rupee 49. So maybe the book was a flop or something. Okay, so we are at 2 and 2, 2 and 3. So 2 and 2. Agent Bishop doesn't know about this. Malloy told Gaia. I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, before I start reading this, I'm really bad with pronouncing English names. I am just gonna make up some name, okay? And it's proper noun, so I'm allowed to say whatever I want to say. So Agent Bishop doesn't know about this. Malloy told Gaia, tapping the massive folder. This is a result of an extensive inter-bureau communication and cooperation of 2 separate trips. I took to Langley, Virginia to visit the CIA headquarters of meetings with Martin Rodriguez and with a well-respected ex-agent named Thomas Moore. Dad, Gaia thought. You were never just another trainee, Malloy went on. He had folded his hands on the desk. Even on the rooftop in the Palo Alto, we knew exactly who you were. The FBI can't put together an operation like the Kevin Bender arrest without finding out everything about the suspect in the question. When we fed your name in our computers, we got a lot of information back. Once you were on our list of potential trainees, we realized that we had a very special situation with a very special trainee. Gaia was struggling to absorb what Malloy was telling her. Out the window, the rain was pattering against the building, louder and louder as the storm began. Does that mean he knows all about me? She thought. Everything about me? The CIA and the FBI have agreed. Malloy went on that the person with your capabilities and skills could be placed on what we call a fast track, an accelerated program that would lead to a rapid deployment as a full agent. All you had to do, Malloy sighed heavily, rubbing his eyes, was finish the training program. Fast track to agent. Gaia could barely believe what she was hearing. A special arrangement just for her, and suddenly as she learned about it, it was gone. I didn't. Gaia took a deep breath. She was imagining her father, Agent Malloy, talking about her. It had happened more than once. There had been meetings about her. I didn't know. Of course you didn't know, Malloy snapped. You weren't supposed to know. All you needed to know was that you were one of my trainees. I warned you. I told you exactly what the rules were. Now you've done exactly what you promised me in this office that you would never do. Now I have to get on the phone to Virginia and tell them that I played out hunch as far as it would go and it was a bum steer. My God, Gaia thought weakly. I made such a freaking mess. She stared back at Malloy and she couldn't stop a tear from running from her eye into her cheek. I've got to say something, she thought. I've got to stop him from doing this, but there was nothing to say. Crying won't help, Malloy said harshly. Weakness isn't the answer, appealing to others to save you. Nobody else can solve your problems, only you. I thought you knew that. I'm sorry to see that I'm wrong. As Gaia watched Malloy unscrew the cap of the fountain pen and wrote out his name on the blank line below Bishop's signature, Gaia watched him write every letter. I'm fine, Gaia tried to convince herself. I've handled worse than this. This is nothing. This is just a moment in my life. I'm fine. Okay, so definitely, I feel like her stalking energy. I think like both of you are like heavily stalking each other. Maybe, one of you is like have like detective skills. We all have that one friend who can like find out shit about another person on social media. So maybe one of you are like that, like CBI. I'm sorry, I said CBI. CBI is the thing in India. FBI skills, and it's so funny. And towards the end of this conversation, do you see how the other person doesn't give a damn about the fact that this girl is crying? So probably this happened between the two of you. Like one of them was crying, and you're like, stop crying. Tears are not the answer for situations like this. You can't just cry and make it all okay. Just stop crying and let's fix the situation. So yeah, that's probably got to do with this brutal communication part. And maybe, yeah, guys, do you want me to read another page? I don't know. Should I? 89. Gaia realized this whole scene is a fraud. Everything that happened since we walked in here was a part of a test. At any moment, Bishop said, striding back and forth, directing her attention to the trainees in the room. Anywhere on our campus or here in town, day or night, no matter what else is happening, you can be plunged into a training exercise. Don't try to figure out the rules of these games because the rules are constantly changing. The only way to succeed is to maintain at all times the disciplined behavior of an FBI agent. You all did it well, Agent Malloy said in his rough voice. By which I mean, nobody panicked or lost their cool. But there's one trainee who did a superlative job. It isn't often that someone wins the first exercise, but in this case, we have a clear winner. Kim and Catherine were gazing at Gaia, and Gaia was getting ready to speak, and she was trying to figure out the most appropriate way of responding as Malloy singled her out. Should she say it was nothing really, or just thank you, sir, or I was just reacting naturally? Will Taylor, Agent Bishop announced, deserves your admiration and respect for a truly remarkable bit of a deductive thinking. What? Gaia was completely confused. She followed Agent Bishop's smiling gaze and saw Will walking into the room, pushing the two mustachioed busboys ahead of him. The busboys were smiling. They each had their hands tied behind their backs. Looking down, Gaia saw that Will had bound their wrist with torn tablecloths. Him? Blurted, I'm sorry, but we are confused. Ma'am, do you want to explain, Taylor? Yes, sir. Will seemed to be trying not to look too smug, but his answer made that clear that there were nothing he wanted more than to explain his own brilliance. Despite her annoyance, Gaia wanted to hear too. She was still baffled. There are 5 empty tables, Will said quietly. He didn't have to speak loudly. He had the whole room's attention, and everybody looked down. Will was right. 5 abandoned restaurant tables covered in dirty dishes and discarded napkins. The whole time nobody cleared those tables. And see the leftover plates, half full bottles, spilled food. But in the 20 minutes we were, nobody touched the tables at all. That's true. Gaia realized ruefully, and I completely missed it. Okay. So, do you see how two people think so differently in either of the pages that we read? One of them is practical, one of them is a little more intuitive, one of them has a better attention to detail, one of them is shy, one of them is a little less modest. So I feel like definitely there was some sort of a control issue where each of you wanted to make the other person better, but your ways of approaching things were quite different. I see a little bit of competition as well, how you tried to defeat each other, you tried to be better than each other. A competitive energy, positive competition in a relationship can be very motivating because it helps you to achieve more and more. So maybe you both worked together, or you met at your workplace, and things got a little competitive there, and you got a little insecure, or they got a little insecure. So this could be the energies, but I feel like both of you could really help each other become a better person. And that's your reading, pile 4, and I hope it resonates. Do leave me a comment, because this was a very interesting story that I read. I got something intuitive while reading it, but it just left my head. It's, you see how the girl is shy and the guy is a little less modest. Something like that, one of you is more capable than the other, but the other person doesn't want to accept it, I guess. But it doesn't mean you're any less better, or you're equally good, but maybe one of you could learn a little more from the other person. So that's your reading, pile 4. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you need to make this channel a little more bigger. So thank you.